How do I move those? Do you have like a little screen in front of you? Says,
I I did, but then I just clicked out like around it and it kind of went away.
I don't know.
how does it go away? Can't see you.
You can't see me?
The whole
No, I
thing.
can see you, but I have this weird thing in front of me. Is it recording that, or is that just something I see?
I don't see anything.
Exit that out of there.
You,
Allow maybe.
you have followed. Okay, I'll follow you. Oh, shoot, I don't want that.
How do we get back now? Oh, right here.
There we go.
Now, how do we get rid of this? Why is all this crap up here? Can you see me, or is there a thing in front?
No, I can see you.
Oh, so it's just on my side. Oh, I just
I
won't worry.
guess.
I have this weird like thing going on. All right,
That's
how are
weird.
you?
I'm great. How are you? It's nice to meet you.
You too. So tell me a little bit about you.
Well, my name is Michael Greene. I'm the founder and artist with Persia Grai LLC, which is a music company based in Detroit, Michigan. Um,
Persia Grai.
yep,
Are you a
I've been work.
musician?
Yep, I
Oh,
am.
I'm sorry, Michael. What's your last name? Green.
Greene, Greene.
Can I just ask some other questions? Just personally, have you ever made money outside of a job? Like, have you been an
Yes.
entrepreneur? Okay.
Yeah.
And what have you done before? What's your kind of wheelhouse?
Well,
Everybody's got a lot of wheelhouses, I know.
yeah. Well, outside of a job, well, I made money through the music.
Hmm.
Um, but before that, I made money like I was always involved in like entrepreneur type stuff. So I was always um I used to like buy and sell shoes.
I love that.
I loved shoes. Like shoes I love them. So like I used to buy them and sell them, and then I used to do the same thing with cell phones. And that's kind of how I like got into business in the first place, is just
All
like
right.
learning to buy stuff and
Buy it
then
and sell
like
it.
buy it and sell
Honey,
it.
that is the best skill of an entrepreneur.
Yeah, literally
You
just
you and I
looking
can
for
do
the
it.
margins.
I have a little course that I can show you how to do that all day long. Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
that'd be
fun.
awesome.
Okay, so
Yeah.
tell me about Persia Gray.
Yeah, so it's a music company. It's actually, for all intents and purposes, it's a label, but it acts as like a parent company to like a publishing and touring and production company as well.
Okay,
So I've
who
been working
owns
on
it?
the that I do.
By okay, no partners.
Um, nope. I'm working with industry veteran. Her name is Wendy. She has contributed to the success of huge artists like Eminem, Cash Money, Master
Okay,
P, and No Limit, and Joyner Lucas, to name a few. I don't. There are a lot, but those are like the biggest ones that she's worked with so far, and we're aiming to replicate the success that she's had with previous clients she's worked with. So we got her on board, and that's really through her. I don't know how much you know about the industry. It's very,
quite a
very
bit.
connection. It's very connection based, and fortunately for me, she has all the connections. So
Okay,
it's
perfect.
it's a lot. And it's funny too. Just a little side note. It's weird. I remember seeing you in The Secret, and she was just with Jack Canfield for his show.
Oh, interesting. Whoops, come on back.
I think
That's
we
all
got
right.
disconnected there for a second.
That's all right. Awesome. Yeah, Jack's a good friend. I love him and his wife.
Yeah,
So,
he's cool. So yeah, I mean, anything you want to know, I'd be happy to fill you
so
in.
has Persian Gray? Have you guys made any money?
Yeah, I've sold like I would say thousands of CDs, thousands in downloads, millions. I have generated millions of streams, but the streaming network is that it's still being figured out. But I've generated millions of streams. I've done some shows, the biggest of which so far was a show with Big Sean and Diggy Simmons, which is like a radio show in Detroit. Every
Yeah.
major city has a huge concert that's put on by the radio stations,
Okay.
and that's what I've done.
All right. So tell me. So I'm going through your pitch deck. So the problem, and I'm just going to have you kind of repeat it out because those who don't have it that are going to be watching you pitch, me, are going to want to hear about it. So tell me. I get the industry. I'm actually there's a lot of cool online things that we can talk about, like you joining more and more for more exposure.
Yeah.
Sort of like this pitch, there are things like that, all sorts of, call it America Got Talent kinds of things that can give you different groups of exposures. But tell me the problem you're trying to solve. Because, I mean, I've helped tons of musicians, but what problem are you? Are you just wanting to get a big name, or you want to do something different?
Well, yeah, that's part of it. We want to connect with, so as it's mentioned in the pitch deck, fans are generally, they want to connect with artists personally,
Yep.
as well as just throughout the music, and that's being seen more and more, especially through like social media and stuff like that. They want to connect with the artists, and there's been a discrepancy as the music industry's revenue has been returning from CDs to streaming. It's been the growth rate for live shows has been growing rapidly past the streaming revenue.
But don't you think it's associated that because the artist is actually getting more personally connected? I mean, 5 years ago, nobody knew what an influencer was. I think that I live in Tahoe, so I go to outdoor concerts all the time. And I never before in concerts than the last year or two are the artists from the stage saying, and follow me on Instagram. Here's my this, like marketing their own stuff to get followers right out of the crowd.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Giving awards and tchotchkes and things away just to get their follower base.
Follower base. And I think you're right. And I think that is because people can connect with you more personally, they want to see you too, So I think that's why that like more people are going out to shows. They want to actually see the person. And that's where generally the first money comes back in.
Yep.
As we're building.
Yep. All right. So tell me so that's kind of the problem. Like, and that's coming back. So tell me what your solution. What are you wanting? I see you want 350, but 350 for what? What are we wanting to do? What do you want to do that's going to be so different and unique?
Well, so you mean like the strategy or like what we're using the money for, or you mean like
both?
me, like
all of it?
Okay, so what we're going to do, well, first of all, what's different and like generally about from the fan perspective is that it's as different and unique as people are, so it's like as you're a speaker, so like speaking with you is going to be different than speaking with Jack Canfield. You relate to people differently.
Yeah.
So it's just about connecting with the people that you connect with, basically. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building out the name. So we're going to be attacking like a region, marketing wise, and then we're going to be using the money for traditional online influencer marketing, radio, promo, advertising, things along those lines. But we're going to be building out a name in a region.
Like, what's the first region you want to go to? Like, where do you live right now?
So I'm in Detroit, but we are, so like I came up with this. I didn't mean to send it to you, but generally the way that Wendy does it is she targets a region specifically. So like probably 350 miles in a radius. Okay. And then you just build the name out in that radius. Okay. So I'm considering, so this one is for Detroit. So I don't know how, but alternatively, I'm thinking about Atlanta as well, because the South right now.
How do I see those better? Can you?
I can email them to you.
Can I give you? I'll just give you a quick email.
Yep. Let me.
I'll just give you my company, it's a simple one.
Okay.
Just do info, info.
Info.
Actually, no, I'm going to send it straight to Molly, my assistant. So MOLLIE, Molly.
MOLLIE.
Yep, at ask, ASK,
Ask
IWS.com. Ask IWS.
IWS.com.
Yep, stands for Integrated Wealth System. So
Okay.
Molly at Ask IWS. So send those charts over. But I like where
Right
you're
now
going.
or after?
After we're done. Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
cool. Okay.
Yeah, so I do have, I don't know how detailed you wanted to get, but I did talk to her and she sent me like a detailed kind of use of funds, which shows like everything that we would be using it for.
Oh,
You know.
so tell me, I mean, because what's going to be, so all I'm hearing right now is you want somebody to help fund your music career, right? So what's going to be different about the company, the kind of revenue, like what's going to be different? How is this going to outpace whoever, right?
Well, okay,
Another
so
artist.
what makes this the significant thing that makes this different is that generally the way that it's structured is, so if it's an artist specifically, say, so artist A versus artist me, right?
Yep.
So there's generally an artist only covers like one aspect of the business and they can only handle like that aspect. So like you'll meet a lot of artists that only want to be artists or something along those lines. Um, A, the fact that I produce the music as well, so that
So
is
do
like
you write it, produce
I
it,
write
edit
it,
it,
produce it,
sing
record
it,
it,
you
do,
do
yeah,
everything?
everything.
Okay.
Everything, which means the revenue is going to be at least 2 times what it's supposed to be because most artists have to pay their producers and then they split that profit on the
Okay.
back end.
All
So
right.
like you lose publishing money, you
Yep.
lose
I
all
get,
that.
yep.
So, yeah, so that makes it different. And then the fact that we're working with Wendy makes a significant difference because she knows the route already, you know. So just, you could give somebody money and then they could blow it off not knowing, like all on radio, but there's more of a strategy to how you do it. Like it's like baking a cake, you know.
Yep.
It's not just popping it in a microwave. But yeah, as far as that, I mean, I also have like merchandise. I have all this stuff that I've created myself, so that in the long run that makes it good for like any investor because we own everything basically. So it's just like we're just picking this up from where it's already at and we're going. Because I've already sold merchandise just off the fact that it looks cool. Like this is the shirt right here, and people will ask about it just because they like the logo, you know. So that's one aspect of it.
So, and who's Tracy Green?
She's a lawyer,
All right.
so
All
it's
right. So if I'm just hearing it, just because I'm speaking back in what I call, conversational terms,
yeah.
you basically want an investor to help launch your career, your merchandise, your structure. Um, is there going to be a model where like you'll become an agency and you want to help other people do this, you and Wendy, and help other people
Yes.
do what you just did? So you be the first and then keep going, or is this just about you going one on a run?
No, no, no. I want to build it out and then get to a certain point and then start it back, like start it up with someone else. Like, yeah, basically become like an agency and just be able to help a few more people get through down the line. And, I think that'll maximize what we can do, especially since I cover so many hats. There's a lot of different ways that we can like maximize the revenue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but who's going to be, once you get too busy, who's going to be, I mean, you've got to put in more operational cost of staff and people working.
Yeah. So once we get to a certain point, we would just start reinvesting. But there was always going to be someone, a part of the team that like, so what Wendy does too is once she's working with you, she is teaching someone on your team how to do what we just did. You know what I'm saying? So like if I have like a marketing intern or someone that I'm working with, which I do, but bring that person along and have her shadow Wendy so she knows, so then you can replicate it again.
And is this the financials right here? The one, or that is, do you have anything in more detail, or is that?
No, I do have more. I do have more details. numbers.
Well, I know how Wendy works, and happy to talk and educate a little bit. I mean, for her to take a big consulting fee straight off the top, I would push that back and say, put your money where your mouth is, give her some fees, and let's see how this works, and she can earn in.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a lot. I mean, what investors don't like to do is fund big salaries. It's
Yeah.
just that's not a good use of the money. Funding marketing, funding sales. I think your marketing budget's too low. I'd like to see more ad spends in here. I mean, I know what it costs to bring up a marketing team, and it's the highest cost in every company I have. And so I think
Right.
you're underfunded in the marketing expense. Just to say 60,000 in operating capital, it's not enough details, so that could
Yeah.
just be spent. So I think you got to detail some more categories.
Yeah, no, I do have a more detailed graph. I'll send that to Molly when we get off
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. So I would say that's your biggest homework. So let's talk about just more use of the funds, because it's a risk. So for an investor to fund another human, right, another
Yeah.
talent. Plus, there's other ways I think offline I can teach you, like just how do you make more money. I mean,
Yeah.
there's things you can do without giving any part of your company away. But tell me how you got to. I mean, I kind of see how you got to the 350, and because this social block is in my way, I can't read the screen. So what is it saying that I get that you want a 350 investor in exchange for what?
We could do equity or a profit share or whichever, like whatever works for you. I think generally it's an equity play for the investors that I've heard of. Working with the artists that I've heard of, they generally do equity, but I'm open to any kind of way.
So who do you know that's already done this? Because I'm sure there's I know, and I've done it too. I've funded Broadway plays, right? So there's a
Oh wow,
group,
yeah,
but we're very specific about how that money is used and how it comes back to us. And who are the people that you know that live and invest in this space? I mean, does Wendy have access to a database of folks who this is their wheelhouse, right? Like my wheelhouse is usually different alternative assets. This is a little bit different.
yeah.
I'm open to a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
um,
You mean does she have a network of other music investors
correct.
or yeah, she does know a bunch of them. She knows the people that she's worked with.
It,
So, every artist that she's worked with has had an investor that,
yeah.
that she's still in contact with. So, um
So
I
have you attempted to pitch them and send this out too?
She has, but all of them are already tied up, and I didn't feel comfortable. That's not the way that our relationship was built. So I didn't want to overstep and just be like, "Hey, can you put me in contact with the people that you've already worked with?"
I'd
I did.
ask, I'd ask her to,
Yeah, yeah.
because
But well, she did do it on her own, but they were already tied up.
okay, all right, just checking that place because once you just look at other places, the other opportunity that a different kind of investor might be interested in, but that's a bigger financial model, is what's called convertible debt. So
Okay.
convertible debt is when someone would borrow you the money, you have to pay them back an agreed interest amount. And the high side to you is you never have to give any part of your company away. You just have to say you use the money for a year, 2 years, 3 years. So they get paid back at, I'm going to say, a preferred interest rate. Then you
Right.
give nothing away, you keep everything.
Right.
And then to bonus that money, you could put it as a profit share. So I think the kind of, what I call shark investor you're looking for is not just money, but I think somebody that actually has some business experience.
Yeah.
That's going to be a better kind of money for you than just money. And then you're still standing there going, what the hell do I do with it? And how
Well,
do I have best use of funds and make decisions with it?
that is true, but we'll actually be working I think that um working with Wendy kind of curves that
Okay.
that because she's been successful in the industry she's been in it for I think 27 years, and
Oh,
she's
good.
been doing it every year. Like she's working with someone right now that they crossed $1 million in 6 months.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, so I know that she knows what she's doing. So I know
Okay.
that
Perfect.
with kind of shark stuff, they talk about smart money and versus dumb money, but
Yep.
this isn't entirely
So,
dumb money because we
because
know
you
what
have
we're
her.
doing.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. She knows what she's doing.
So the only other person, so I'm going to give you some homework. So you can send that model over. I want more detailed financials, number 2. And then the other person that you should add to the team, and Tracy might know, Wendy might know, I do know, is somebody that can be on the financial side of your team. And again, Wendy may have somebody that already kind of covers that, but for an investor to come in and not have somebody on that side, or they're going to come in, the accountant or the tax strategist. I have people who will do that. They'll take those roles. I have taken those roles just to kind of monitor the money. Like, how is it being spent? What's the use of funds? And that should be more of a third party. I mean, somebody obviously invested, but there's got to be accountability to the investor's money.
I do know that we actually just talked, and she does put, once we get to that point, she connects us with someone that can do it. So I know that with her other client, she's working with the accountant. Like, he's a musician accountant. He works with Korn, and he works with like big people like that. So she knows that already. She knows that. She says, like, when you're working with an investor, unless the person knows you, they're not going to want to give the money just to you. They're going to buffer it through the accountant. So yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So we do have that in place.
Okay. So tell me back what you're going to give me, and then I think we go again.
I'm open to negotiable equity or profit share, or even if you like convertible debt, that would whichever would work. I do know that she generally says, as a safety marker, we generally, like, it could be between 6 months and 18 months to when you get the money back, and then moving forward, it could be whatever you want to do,
like quarterly distributions or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I need from you, though, when I say more detailed financials, I want you to also include, like, what's not in here is the upside. Like, so you say 6 to 18 months, like, what's the potential revenue that she's helped other people get? So this is like how you'd spend the $350. You said there's another level of detail, but then there should be a revenue projections. Like,
how is
this going to make money? So this was the expense side. I need to see the income side.
See, I heard you say that, and I watched your other pitches, and I heard you say something about that to
critical.
The game truck guy. So yeah, but I didn't have that in mind. So yeah, you're right. I'll send you that as well.
Yep.
But I do know, like, off the top of my head, that every client she's worked with, she's helped get past $1 million in a year. So
that's awesome. Okay. So let's lay that out. And I would give so the way that typically seen is in what's called a base projection. So what's the kind of the norm you're going for, right? What are you going for? And then what would be the low side? Like, what if you had just a bad run? So kind of a low base, and then, a big, like, hit it out of the park.
Okay.
Right. So that way we can kind of see, so at what point could the 350 really come back?
Okay. Yeah, I can get you that. And, yep, I do have that on my computer. So I'll send it as soon as we get off, and then we'll talk about it more on a follow-up.
And you'll set we'll set the follow-up through the pitch guys, but Molly will organize all of that on my side.
Okay.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well done. And I would love
Thank you so much.
You send some clips of your music. We'll see how good you are.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll send you whatever you need.
Awesome. So, and how I usually work too is, if I'm not interested, or I see my role here is not to just be pitched, but also to guide and educate, to help you get it done. That if and I know the other investors are doing that, but I know other money. I'd say it that way. So once it kind of gets to a stage where it feels like you have all the components, then I can also, it's not me, send it around to some of the places where I know this kind of money can come from.
That would be awesome. I would love to work with you, though. But if not, I would, however.
Awesome. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing your stuff, and then we'll be back in touch next week.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You as well. Bye.
So how do you know if you're offline? I know he went offline, but how do I know if I'm offline? Just make it out.
Okay,